These retail jobs are so freaking mind-blowing now. Because what do you mean a job that pays $18 an hour has 3 separate interviews? Like the other day, I was applying to be a stalker. Keep in mind, I live in New York City, right? I live in New York City. Guess what the qualifications is? So you're getting paid $17 an hour and you need 3 references to submit your application. 3 references for a stalking job that pays $17.50. A $17.50 an hour job wants me to fucking put in 3 references. When I got my first retail job in 2021 or 2020, it was not like this. All these multiple rounds of interviews for generic retail stores that pay barely anything is crazy to me. Who the fuck y'all think y'all are, bro? Who give y'all the authority to be feeling like this, bro? And then it's like, not only that, they're asking you corporate level questions at the interview. Like, this is a regular retail job and y'all asking all these hard salary job questions. This is a hourly job, bro. Like, relax. Like, what the heck is happening with retail jobs now, bro?
The thing that really gets me about employment gaps is that if you've been unemployed even for just a few months, companies start treating you like there must be something wrong with you. Like, you chose this and like you haven't been applying consistently and just not hearing anything back. And then the gap itself can make it even harder to get hired, which makes the gap longer, which makes it even harder. It creates this cycle where the longer you're out of work, the more suspicious employers get, even though a lot of people are just dealing with a really, really difficult job market right now. And I think the fact that employment gaps are treated like some sort of personal failure instead of just like a really common reality right now says a lot about how outdated the hiring expectations still are. And honestly, this is part of what's been making me think so differently about work and stability lately.
Hey YouTube, if you've been online lately, you've probably seen people talking about how impossible it feels to get hired right now. Whether they're teenagers looking for a first job, or adults with years of experiences getting rejected over and over again. So while we've got some TikToks playing in the background, I want to talk about what's actually happening in the job market and why so many people feel stuck. Because the problem goes way beyond individual applications, and a lot of people are running into the same barriers at the same exact time.
The job market's so trash because nobody ain't quitting their job, gang. You crazy as hell. Like, they know that their job is up for grabs. What make you think they finna quit that hoe? They may complain about the job. They may not be getting paid enough to goddamn sustain the living. But what make you think they finna quit their job, gang? They finna stay because they know they quit their job today. Somebody else getting that motherfucking position the next day. I'm not even finna put you on my shit. I'm not even finna put you on my job. And another reason why the job market's so trash, because these businesses slow. Everything, the prices keep increasing. Shit keep getting high. So business getting slower and slower. Ain't nobody buying shit no more. Ain't nobody buying shit no more. Ain't nobody really going nowhere no more because a lot of people can't really afford to go nowhere. So at the end of the day, like, you got to understand it from the business side too. Like, that shit, hell, they probably need you. They probably need your experience, your expertise. But goddamn, they can't afford the expertise. they can't afford it. They try. You feel me? They do what they can, but they can't really afford it. Ain't really nothing they can really do about it. You feel what I'm saying? But try their best to keep the motherfucking people in the positions that's them. You feel what I'm saying?
Minimum wage jobs are for high schoolers, yet when you go to McDonald's at 2 a.m., who's behind that counter making your food? When you go to Starbucks on a Monday at 9 a.m., who just made your coffee? Y'all continue to disrespect grown adults who work at these minimum wage establishments and say that is only for high schoolers, yet these services would literally cease to function during school hours if not for the fact that grown adults are able to work there. And the cognitive dissonance of you guys reaping the benefits of grown adults working at these establishments, yet simultaneously disrespecting them and saying that they deserve to be underpaid is not lost on me, but it seems to be lost on y'all.
Why is it so hard to speak to a person? No, I don't want to speak to an AI bot. No, I don't want a call center bot. Give me a human being. I'm trying to talk to AAA, and the amount of times I've had to just start screaming at the phone, representative, 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 because these dumb asses want to shove AI down our throats. Why on earth is it so hard to talk to a person? And it's the same thing when I deal with a bank. It's the same thing when I call an airline. Why is it so hard to just give me a human being who can solve my problems? I miss the days of when I would pick up the phone, I would get somebody at a call center because I was a person who could resolve the issue. Now I'm screaming at a robot. Uber Eats, another perfect example of this. Bring back human call center employees.
One of the biggest frustrations people have right now is that applying for jobs feels completely different than it did a few years ago. You can spend hours filling out applications, answering questionnaires, uploading resumes, and still never hearing anything back. A lot of companies use automated systems to sort applications before a real person ever sees them. That means qualified people can get filtered out for reasons they don't even know about. The result is that job hunting starts feeling less like a conversation and more like throwing applications into a black hole. People end up applying to dozens or even hundreds of jobs just to get a few responses. After enough rejections, motivation naturally starts dropping. The weird part is that companies often say that they're hiring while applicants feel like nobody's actually hiring them. That's created a huge disconnect between employers and workers that a lot of people are noticing now.
I just got off the phone a few hours ago with a company. They offered me a position and I've accepted it. It hasn't really hit me yet. I've spent the last 240 days unemployed. I've watched what little savings money I had and the unemployment I was receiving effectively disappear. I think I've got $4 in my bank account. I have spent all of that time applying to jobs, trying to figure out what I needed to do to become competitive, to become marketable, to become hireable. I sent out over 150 applications. I stopped counting after 150. And through that, I landed 5 interviews and received 1 job offer. At some point, I also ended up spending $560 of my own dollars to go get an HR certification because I thought it would give me a leg up. I thought that that would make me more competitive. It didn't. The role I ended up landing, I don't even need that certification for. So, at least for this role, entirely useless. But it's been hard, and I'm glad that there's an end in sight. It hasn't really settled yet, and I'm just wondering when that happens. When does that relief set in and finally become recognized by the body? I've been running on anxiety and stress and fight or flight for 8 months, and that's all I know. As soon as I hung up after accepting this job offer, the first thing I wanted to do was to get on LinkedIn and start looking for work. I realized I don't have to do that now. But that's just how deeply ingrained it is in my brain right now that I need to be looking for work. I need to be pushing. I need to be trying to find something. If I'm completely honest with whoever's listening, it's been hard. It got dark, really, really dark. There were more than a few times where I was at rock bottom, probably a little bit deeper. You know, I'm already on an anti-anxiety and depression medication, and I was at a point where I was thinking, maybe this isn't worth it anymore. Maybe the amount of fight I'm giving isn't worth sustaining, and maybe taking a long walk off of a short rooftop is a much better option than what I've been doing. I'm honestly glad I didn't. But that's more than a couple of times, that's where I was. That's how dark it had gotten for me. I had to lean on family and friends to make my rent payment last month. I had to beg, borrow, and plead with people to try to make my car payment because I was facing repossession. I had a point where I was looking at, do I sell my car because its current value is more than the loan that I had out for it, so I could stand to make some money off of that. But then what do I do without a vehicle? How would I get to work? And I could use the difference to try to buy a used car, but the used cars in the amount of money I had were so old and had so many miles on them, I just didn't know what I was inheriting. It didn't solve the immediate problem of having no money. Okay, I sold my car, I bought a beater, but now I still can't make rent. You know, even part-time work wasn't hiring. Barnes & Noble turned me down. Costco and Target never called me back. The only thing that was left was DoorDash. And it's really hard to want to go out and DoorDash when you know you should be spending as much of your available time applying for other jobs, longer term jobs. And with the cost of gas right now, even that is like, okay, I'm not going to DoorDash unless I can guarantee that I'm going to earn more mile than I'm spending in gas right now. And I wish I had some great wisdom for everyone about what this experience has taught me, but all I come away with is it sucked. It sucked ass. It was hard. The economy and the job market right now is no joke. It is beyond competitive. And all I can say is that I hope that for everyone that's in this position, you also find that light at the end of the tunnel that is your next big opportunity, because I'm sure it's out there, but it takes a lot of fight to get there.
Part of the reason why this topic is everywhere online is because the job market affects almost everyone in some way. Teenagers looking for their first paycheck, college graduates entering the workforce, and experienced workers switching careers are all competing in the same environment. A lot of positions receive hundreds of applications within days of getting posted. That level of competition makes every opportunity feel harder to get. At the same time, people are seeing rising costs for things like housing, food, and transportation, which makes finding work feel even more urgent. When someone spends months searching without success, it's easy to understand why frustration starts building. That's why so many stories about job hunting are gaining attention online right now. People aren't just talking about isolated experiences, they're describing challenges that thousands of others are facing too. Whether conditions improve soon or not, it's clear that finding a job has become a much bigger challenge than people had expected. If you guys have experiences in your own life, let me know down in the comments. But other than that, hope you guys all have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.